Joining us now on the phone from Deir el-Balah in Gaza is Amjad Shawa, the director of the Palestinian NGOs Network. Amjad, thank you so much for joining us. We began our coverage with the very heartbreaking story of an 8-year-old girl and her brother, 2 children from the same family who died of malnutrition. If you could paint a picture for us, Amjad, how many families are going through similarly heartbreaking situations?
Thank you. This is the family that you could reach, but there's other thousands of families that they haven't a chance to tell their stories about the famine, about the situation the hard situation that they're living in due to the Israeli aggression. And at the same time, the blockade that continue for the 8 months. And just to remind everyone that from day one of this war, Israel declared that they will deny the entrance of the basic needs, food, medicine, water, and electricity to the Gaza Strip. And during these 8 months, although there was so many positions from the international actors, from the US, from the Western countries, from the UN, calling Israel to lift the blockade, but there is also from the international, from the ECC and the ICC, but there was a clear position from Israel on the ground to prevent the entrance of the different items, mainly the food items, which get in Gaza with limited quantities. Every day we have in the good days, we have about 200 trucks. This is during the war. This is during the biggest humanitarian catastrophe. This is an unprecedented situation, not only in Gaza, it's all over the world. Who could imagine to deny the entrance of the basic needs and food for children and medicine and other different items which Gaza needs as the fuel, for example, which is needed for the generators in the hospitals and for the water facilities. It's a serious concern of the lives of the children. We have 50 children that recorded, and the Minister of Health died because of malnutrition. And at the same time that we have strong indicators of the famine in Gaza Strip, and we call the UN in order to declare Gaza as a famine status, that we have also 3,500 children, according to the records, are suffering from severe malnutrition, and there is a lot of so many children died on silence, and they were buried in the graves with no records.
And Amjad, we've heard from the World Health Organization, and I'll just read a comment from them. Despite reports of increased delivery of food, there is no evidence that those who need it most are receiving sufficient quantity and quality of food. That's what you're seeing on the ground, isn't it?
Yes, what we've seen on the ground, there is not enough quantities of food entering Gaza. And just to tell you that before this war, we used to have 600, 700 trucks loads entering Gaza. Now, in such catastrophe, we have the maximum. We have 200 trucks in the good days. So and nowadays that all Gaza Strip population depend on the humanitarian aid entered through the crossings. So these quantities are not enough to feed the children, and so many families are spending all the day with less than one meal, and most of them are children. Also drinking water. Just to tell you that each person here, the maximum consumption is 2 liters a day in such hot weather, humidity, and most of the population are living in tents and very serious deteriorated condition. And pollution is there due to the untreated water, which is in the tunnels between the tents itself. So we have concerns about, yes, food, water, medicine, and if we have malnutrition cases, it's very difficult to get them to the hospital, which is full of injured people who are also in the corridors of the hospital, and the medical teams are very busy on the dealing with the injured who are coming in each hour to the hospitals, and ICU units are occupied by the injured who are in severe cases.
And Amjad, with such difficult circumstances for so many people in Gaza, in particular for children, are you already seeing on the ground the irreversible physiological effects of long-term malnutrition on the youth of Gaza? For example, things like stunting.
Yes. During our visit to the shelters, and our program, our activities on psychosocial support to the children, we have our NGOs who are working there to offer such services, and we could witness the children, the orphans, the children who are traumatized and who are in bad need for psychosocial support, but they are coming the next day, and during the 1 hour after we leave the shelter, we have in an airstrike or something happened, we come back to witness the same implications, same trauma to the children who cannot spend the night without nightmares, without also scare feeling due to this continuous rockets and airstrikes towards the neighborhoods. We are now overpopulated areas, and it's open areas now, so children scared from situation, and mainly the children who lost one member of the family, the father or brother or sister, and this has happened everywhere. We're talking about big number of people who are killed or injured, and now in each shelter you can find children without arms, without legs, because of these airstrikes, which has happened all over Gaza Strip. This is in Deir el-Balah, which is overpopulated, as happened in Rafah before. Now we have about 1.2 million Palestinians who, most of them displaced to the middle area, and we had the massacre in Nusayrat area. Most of the people who were injured and killed were children. So these stories are moved from one to another.
Thank you so much, Amjad Shawa, joining us from Deir el-Balah in Gaza, the director of the Palestinian NGOs Network. Thank you so much, sir, for your time.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.